All right. Hey, everybody. Kathy Kennedy. Kind of what they call this is a little bit before 2 o'clock, but we thought we would get on. If anybody's kind of running around Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, if you guys want to hang out for Travel Talk Tuesday at 2, I am going to be here myself and Denali. Look at Denali. He got a bath. Yeah. Look, show him. He's all fluffy. He's all fluffy. He needs a little bit of a haircut, but he's all clean. We were at my son's wedding this past weekend. It was amazing. So if you guys happen to get on, just give me your name over there to the right. Let me know you're there. So Mr. Denali had to stay in a kennel for the first time ever. And he went up to the country kennels. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he got a little spoiled. He had his own little kennel, and then he could actually had a roundabout that he could run out and play in. But the fun part that he loved doing was they have something called the play yard. And so a couple of dogs get inside the play yard and they can run and play together. And then they actually have what they call romper room. Yeah, for dogs. So they have like a whole living room with couches and chairs and all that stuff. And so Denali went and played in romper room with a bunch of other dogs. So when we picked him up yesterday, hey Deborah, hey Vedas. When I picked him up yesterday, he smelled like a kennel. So we got in the bathtub. Yes, we got in the bathtub together. Yeah, we fit. And he is all nice and soft. We got about 5 minutes, so kind of hanging out here. I'm like loving on him because he hasn't been this soft and clean in such a long time. His hair is almost as long as mine at this point in time. He is going to get a little bit of a trim, so he's going to feel better. But he's a little exhausted. I don't know if you ever kennel your dogs or anything. He's been a little exhausted. What was that? Did you hit the keyboard? Huh? Did you? So he's been a little exhausted, but I think he's going to perk it up. He's eating and he's doing good. All right, you're going to get down? You're going to help Mama with travel talk? You're going to get down. Hey, Miss Pat Jones, how are you? I'll tell you what, a wedding is exhausting. Did you guys see the pictures? We took pictures, and of course there was a photographer there that was taking, oh my God, so many different, like I never got to see the whole bridesmaid party and the whole groom party together. And I think Cole was the littlest. I think he was. Well, him and his what's the groomsman? Anyway, he was one of the little guys, and oh my God, they could just pick him up and do whatever. So it was beautiful. Oh my gosh, I come back here to stick country. Well, it's getting a little green, but the weather, God blessed us so much for that weather. Everything's in full bloom over there, full bloom. All the trees are in bloom, flowers are in bloom. We had 70-degree weather. And I mean, it's like, God bless that wedding. It was just an amazing wedding. Pat says, great pictures. Thank you, Pat. Yes, those pictures, and those were just a few that I could get. It wasn't, because we were busy being involved in everything that had to be going on. We had the rehearsal dinner, which, by the way, if I run into any of you, I'll have to show you. We made a video for the kids for the rehearsal dinner, and it was a hit. It was they were either laughing, clapping, or crying. It was pretty cool. And let's see, Louise is there. Oh, thank you. She said the pictures were beautiful. Congratulations. Yes, my new daughter. I hugged her and just had tears coming in. Oh my God, this is my new daughter. And then we had breakfast with the newlyweds yesterday morning. Before we left to come up, because they're going to be doing a mini moon, because where they want to go for their honeymoon, it's a bunch of snow out there. So they're going to do a mini moon this weekend. Actually, she's working today. He's got 2 days that he's working, and then they'll take the weekend off, and they're actually doing a floating pontoon. He's a fishaholic person. He loves to fish. I don't know if you saw the pictures, because they had a bridesmaids thing, bachelorette party, I guess they called it. So Cole didn't have anything to do, and he says, "What you guys want to do?" I said, "I don't know, let's go fishing." So we went fishing. But he's so into this fish. Get this, guys. I should post this picture. He's in his suit. He's in his wedding suit. And him and the groomsmen are out fishing. And yes, he caught a fish before the ceremony. I don't know. He says a fish a day keeps the stress away. So that's what he does. He takes a fish a day. But it was beautiful. It went down perfectly. It was great. So it's just exhausting. All right, we got about 1 more minute. So I don't know if you guys have ever, hey, Deanne popped in there. I just now saw her. See if there's anybody else getting on. I don't have a lot to go through. So there's a couple of things I'm going to highlight, because we really haven't had too much time to get back into, the heater just came on. It's like we've been in air conditioning and outside and sleeveless and absolutely beautiful sun. Of course, it is beautiful sun here. But our house I turned everything off while I was gone. So I was like freezing in here when I finally did come back. So anyway, we're about 1 minute away to Travel Talk Tuesday at 2. Now, I'm just going to kind of mention to you guys, especially I know Vedas and Deborah. I don't know. I can't remember who all's going to Margaritaville with me. But we have that meeting for the 28th, which will be next week. We're going to be at the Hard Rock. So if you guys are booked on them or even if you want to find out more about Margaritaville or Charisma or anything like that, hey, pop on by. We're going to be at the East Coast Wings. I'm sure Shane won't mind having a few more people come in there, right, Deborah? But we're going to go over, what to expect. I mean, this is the first time I'm actually, besides going to weddings and, traveling in the mountains, this is kind of the first big trip that I've been doing. So kind of what to expect, because I know the first things out there is, are we going to have to wear masks? It's going to be one thing. And then if you know what, and that's the point, if you have a few other questions, do me a favor, shoot them to me. Either email, text me or something, and that way I'll be sure to have all the answers. But yeah, I talked to Caesar. We went into detail, I believe, before the wedding. And I have a lot of that good information for you guys. So we'll be able to cover that. So you'll feel very comfortable going. Now, what is going on in travel? Oh, in the last week, not much, if anything, has changed, other than depending on the channel that you're watching on TV, you'll find out do you travel? Are you afraid to travel? Are you not afraid to travel? Because, I'm getting this, for example, Greece. And of course, you guys know that a lot of the ships now are starting to port outside of the U.S. So you have them going out of Greece. And this just came out that Greece has lifted the quarantine requirement for U.S. visitors. Now, I will tell you that the heavy conversation out there right now is vaccine. In fact, the last few people I booked, one I'm starting to get some quotes for. My question is, have you been vaccinated, or do you plan on being vaccinated by the time you go? It's just going to make life a whole lot easier, guys. So just to let you know, Greece is opening up to visitors. And again, they're going to ask for that. And then get this, France. Everybody kept telling me, well, France is shut down. Italy and France. Well, France is doing a lift travel restriction starting in May. So things are starting to come back over in France as well. So I know there are pockets of Europe, and May for Europe, for England, Ireland, Scotland area, they're opening up. They're opening up for cruises. But I know there are pockets out there that are still struggling with the vaccines and getting the virus under control. So again, just to kind of emphasize, it's really, really important that you have a travel agent who has resources to be able to pull all that information and get it for you. which reminds me, I had a gentleman call me this morning, bless his heart, and I have no idea. And I said, how did you ever get my name? And he said, well, he says, I did see you on Daytime. I said, well, that's good. Thank you for watching Daytime, which, by the way, I'll be on tomorrow. I said, well, thank you for watching. He says, but I'll be honest with you, I've tried like 4 other travel agents. I can't go but anybody to answer the phones. So, and he said, I went to one place and it looks like it was closed. So the travel agencies have had a challenge this past year. What you doing? And so some of them have not come back. We have been fortunate. Now we are coming back with shorter hours because there's no need for me to stay down here, for the 75, 80 hours I used to work a week. But if you leave a voicemail and like now I'm doing something, I won't answer the phone. I promise to get back to you as soon as I can. In fact, I'm stressing out because I got 3 people I got to get back to because I couldn't because of the wedding. So just know, and if I don't get back to you, I've been hit by a bus, call Pat because I will do it. I'm committed to it. And I'm committed to my clients. Let's see who else is on here. Carolyn's on there. Hey, Miss Beverly. Beverly, you're ready to go. Again, I bet Beverly is going to have this long list. Beverly's going to Cancun with me. She's going to have this long list of questions. Darla, you're going to Cancun with me. I don't know if it's now or in, but you're coming. And so you guys come up with some good questions. So, and then give them to me ahead of time so I can have answers at the meeting. Mr. Carol is on and Paula's on. Hey, oh, well, thank you. She said she enjoyed the wedding pictures. Well, thank you so much. So for you guys that are on, or if you're watching, do me a favor. There's a comment box down below, comment box off to the right. Put your name there. Just say hi. That way I know you're there. Got any questions, comments? You want to put them on there? Just do that. But do me a favor, like and forward this off. This just tells me the more people that views tells me that's something we'll keep doing. And if it's not, then we don't necessarily do it. Okay, so let's see if I've got any other good news out there on travel. First off, I said Greece already. The other one is Iceland. Viking, and for you guys that have not been to Iceland, are thinking about going to Iceland, Viking has now a trip, and I'm not too sure, but rumor has it they were selling out, that they're actually going to sail all around the island. So I believe there are 6 different stops that the ship is making, and it's really not an outrageous price for what they're offering. So if you guys are interested in Iceland, Iceland's wide open right now. And then I pulled this article. It says, what's selling this summer? And anybody want to take a guess on the first one? U.S. U.S. is selling. So we've got the park strip going out. We've got the trains and the balloon fest going out. We've got fall foliage, and I'll get through some of those here in a few minutes. Hawaii, I've been booking a lot of Hawaii. Alaska rail is going for sure. And it's looking really good towards the cruise part too. I'll get to tell you about that in a minute. So U.S. is number 1. Mexico is number 2. Now you're going, why is Mexico kind of in there? Well, of the Caribbean, and I just listened to this thing this morning that every island is a little bit different because you guys all know the islands are different countries. So Mexico and DR right now has no requirements going into the country. So it's just real easy. Passport, get on a plane, boom, you're there. The only thing that's different right now is that coming home is that you need to have a negative COVID test in hand, 72 hours. And all the resorts that anybody that I've booked with or anybody that I've booked out of the country, I know that they're going to have those tests in hand to get back in. And they're doing them free of charge. So they want to make sure you're going to get back. So that's Mexico. Caribbean, and then it said beyond, which Greece and Iceland is your other 2 major choices. Hello, Miss Barbara Deso. She says your dress for the wedding was exceptional. Pat looked pretty good too. Yeah, except his pants were too short. We're now having to stretch those pants back out. But yeah, I didn't realize our colors were so close together, the 2 blues. But that was a wonderful. I had to have it altered dress type thing, but it was comfortable to be in all day long. It was really nice. And I had some friends help me pick that out. Thank you, Deborah, and Judy, and Eloise. Those guys all went to help me pick that dress out. So I thank them for that. We got Mr. Keith Hawkins. I have you on my list to call today, so I'll give you a call a little bit later on. All right, so to give you an idea, where are we? Where are we with Canada? Where are we with cruising? Is that anybody want to know those answers? Well, I do too, because we really don't know. At this point in time, there is so much pressure on the CDC to release cruises to go in and out of the U.S. I'm hearing that Florida is suing the CDC. I've heard that the House of Representatives now have a whole case going against the CDC. I mean, something's got to give. In Richard Fame's speech, they have stated that they've had over 500,000 plus people have now sailed out of Europe, not out of here, but out of Europe. And they've had 10 cases of COVID, and nobody was quarantined. The ships didn't get, I mean, it was a protocol. It was taken care of just like you would have gotten the flu or something on board, taken care of and done. 10 out of 500,000. Yet the CDC won't let the U.S. So something on that's going to crack. I just don't know when. I know that Norwegian is pushing pretty hard. Everybody's pushing pretty hard at this point in time. You've got the House of Representatives and Congress is now involved in it. I just didn't realize CDC had so much bloody power, but something's going to give. The other thing, and again, I can only give you tidbits. Okay, what's going on with Canada? Because right now we have a pretty large group. It's significant now. And when I say large group, that's going to be a different definition than it was in 2019, because a large group in, post-COVID is much smaller. So when you're talking 30 plus people or 30 people, that's a large group that's going to be going to Alaska with me. We're going to be doing the rail. Of course, that is all in US. So there's nothing stopping that. But what we do have after that, the majority of us, is a sail. And that sail is going down into Vancouver. So the one thing I have heard, because nothing is canceled, it is just on a pause. But what I am hearing through the grapevine is that they're working around this thing called the PVSA. It's Passenger Vessel Something Act. I'm not sure, but it was created in 1887. That date stuck with me, like really that old. And basically says that if you've got a ship that is leaving from the U.S., for it to return to the U.S., it must touch a foreign soil. Well, that's up in Canada. If you leave from, Juneau or Seward, then you're going to have to touch a foreign soil before you come back down into, or say, Seattle. So one alternative is to do a technical. Just to let you know what that is. A technical would be that you pull the ship in to a foreign port, but nobody gets off. And you just sit there and say, yep, I've touched the soil. Now you back her up and off you go. That's a possibility. We can get Canada to agree to it. If that doesn't work, then they are somehow suspending that act. And if they suspend that act, then we would just have to maybe fly or go out of another port. And I didn't think of this the other day, but I don't know if you guys know David Price, because he's going with us to Alaska. He said, well, yeah, we'll just go down to Ketchikan, turn around and hit Juneau on the last day and fly out of Juneau. It's the capital of the United States. Or not United States, capital of Alaska. It's one of two capitals in the United States that you cannot drive to. You can only fly, or you could take a boat into the capital. So I don't know. We don't know. There's all speculation. It's just I'm a little more positive because I'm not hearing the final word. So no news is good news is definitely the word right now. So who else we got? Hey, Mr. Arthur Day. Oh, looking forward to Margaritaville. Arthur, I'll probably give you a call. Art, by the way, for you guys that are on this call that are going to or going to Cancun with me, Art's going to be down there if you see him over here. But Art is coming in from Texas. And that's because he lives in Texas. So he's going to be flying in from Texas and get down there. So, Art, I'll hook up with you. I'm meeting with the guys next week on the 28th. I'll hook up with you after that just to kind of walk through some of the protocols. I've talked to Caesar and what to expect when you get there, so you're not freaking out. Louise says Canada seems to be getting more restricted. Yeah, she said I'm worried about the sail part. Yeah, me too. I'm not worried about the sail part. I am probably worried if anybody is wanting to go into Canada, but Canada probably will. From what I'm hearing, I'm like you. I'm not hearing too good of. We're kind of ahead of the game with everybody with vaccines, and I'll tell you right now, guys, that's kind of everybody that I'm booking. That next question: do you have the vaccine, or you need to be getting the vaccine? Because that's becoming the requirement at this point in time. So I think they're going to do a walkabout. Is that such a thing? A walkabout? They're going to do a walkabout on Canada on that. So, but I still think it's going to happen. It's just going to be different, which I'm all for. I'm all for. Okay, I'm going to run through. I'm going to try and share screen here real fast. Well, it won't be real fast because I don't do anything real fast these days. And for some reason, my mouse is not working. I noticed that earlier. Uh-oh, so this could be, well, this is going to be a challenge because, well, let's see. Oh, why don't I test these things before? Nope. All right, so you guys can see that, right? The problem is I can't do it. Oh, yeah, it's working. Okay, well, maybe it is. All right, who knows? All right, so this is the old website. And for you guys out there that are very familiar with this thing, as you can see, it's got Millionaires Club 2017, which, my gosh, we've done it every single solitary year. I can't get that changed. So this thing is kind of in a lockdown. It's just easy to post the cruises here. We're probably going to do this maybe for another 6 months, and then this site is going to go away. And then what we'll do is we're going to, I'll show you how to maneuver the other website, which will have all this information on here. So I want to highlight a couple of things. I will be on Daytime Tri-Cities tomorrow, and I'm going to highlight these as well. I'm not going to talk about the Alaska Rail and Sail because we're pretty much already sold out on that, but I'm going to mention the America's Great Parks. See if I can get it to come up. There you go. So this one, I'm going to, if anybody is interested in this, I do have 6 seats left, but they are taking those 6 seats away from me on Friday. So they wanted to take them away yesterday. And I said, no, I'm going to at least mention it on Travel Talk. I will at least mention it on Daytime. If they don't sell, then you get, because they've got people wanting those seats. And I'm kind of holding them because they've got my own money down. This is August the 17th through the 31st. Guys, this is a fabulous vacation. You've got some people that are on here that'll testify to that. This price here is not the right price. That's what they're selling it for. Our group rate is $4,088. So you're going to save a significant amount of money if you want to book and hold by Friday. So that is number one. So just let you know about the America's Great Parks. The other one I want to highlight is down here is the Fall Foliage one. This one's brand new. I brought it up I don't know when I brought it up, but the ships probably will not be sailing into Canada on the East Coast for Fall Foliage. But I will tell you, this one is, besides Bar Harbor and Boston, those are the only 2 ports you would hit by cruise ship. Everything else you're going to experience will be brand spanking new. And I used to travel this area. So the Green Mountains, the White Mountains, New Hampshire, Vermont, absolutely gorgeous. I think the timing on this, I nailed it, October the 3rd through the 11th. I think you're going to see those vibrant yellows, greens, and reds. And then even to the point that when you get, because they're so far north, when you come home, you'll have about another week, and then you're going to be into another beautiful fall foliage. So you can see there's 1 night in Boston. I love this. I think there's 2 nights in Bar Harbor. I could definitely stay there for 2 nights. Over to North Conway, into Killington. There are some amazing ski resorts. I wouldn't be surprised on the higher peaks you'd see some snow that was going on there. Sturbridge, Stockbridge, I can't pronounce, Mystic Seaport, and then back into Boston. So that one is only $26.59. And again, this is online, so where you actually can see what you're doing day by day. Everything that's in capital letters means that it is included in the price. You see the BDs and the Bs? Well, that's your breakfast and your lunch and your dinner. So everything is right there on the website. So I'm going to highlight that one. And then I want to come down here to, now this one goes into 2022. And the reason why I want to highlight this one is because it's really starting to fill up. And this is the Northern Lights. And this is why I am so excited. I have on my personal email, I have whenever the Northern Lights actually start going off, so to speak, that I get an email, the Aurora, you know what it's another name, it's technical name for it. But when the Northern Lights go off, so they send you an email. They have been my email has been going off like crazy. So the Northern Lights are still shining. And last time I checked, this is April 20th. So I'm so excited. This one's March 1st through the 13th on this one. What I want to share with you, and again, you can go down there and see the different rates. When I pulled this up, Viking, now this is one of those groups that I held out so long ago that the prices were so much lower. Well, the prices are frozen, but the availability is where we lose out. But get this, there was one V2 left, which when I checked a few minutes ago, and my price is $47.74. Viking is selling it for $53.99. That's per person. So literally you would save over $1,250 on this if you called me to book in this group. Now, there's only one left, so it'll probably go quickly. But the DV6, which is the next one, they have it at $55.99. I'm at $48.74. That's almost $1,500. That is less than what you would get. And this is a phenomenal. This is going out of England. You guys look at this. We're just going to hug that whole Norway coast up into the North Sea, the Norwegian Sea. It's just going to be amazing. And then to just know the Northern Lights have been going off like crazy lately is just wonderful. All right, next one. Let's go back to U.S. I'm going to highlight this one tomorrow. Hawaii 2022. I still have some balconies left on this one. Look at this, guys. You don't need a pre-night or a post-night hotel because we're going to do Honolulu. You fly in. The ship's going to be your hotel overnight. And then we're going to sail, do a wonderful Trans-Pacific back to Vancouver. But the best part about Celebrity, they are now all-inclusive. So the price that you're going to see is prepaid gratuities, free Wi-Fi, and beverage package. Now, if you go over to, and you scroll down here, click on details, which this is live, so I'm doing this live. Now, I'm not going to chat with myself. You go to cruise information. The C3s are sold out, but I do have some, these are balconies, unobstructed balconies. You don't want an obstructed balcony on a Trans-Pacific. So this is $27.20. And again, just to remind you, this is going to include prepaid gratuities, Wi-Fi, beverage package. It's an 11 night. It's 11 nights. So I want to highlight that one. We still have a few more on that one. Oh, and this one's new. I don't even actually have the group number yet, and I'm waiting on that to happen. But this one is Edinburgh, the Highlands, and the Islands. And this is Scotland, which, by the way, Scotland and Ireland have been, and this is June 12/20 of 2022. So this is a little bit further out, but look at this. This is again with Vacations by Rail. So this is one of those packages that you are just going to be doing and enjoying the scenery. I think about Alaska, how wonderful that's going to be. Look at all the rail on this. Edinburgh. If you guys have not been to Edinburgh, it is I could spend a week in Edinburgh. Edinburgh is just, if you ever a Harry Potter fan, where she wrote all of her books was there in Edinburgh. You actually will see buildings that kind of recognize the things that you saw in Harry Potter movies. It's really neat. Then you're going to take that train all the way up. I believe this is the North Sea. So this is all in Scotland. This is like the haunted area. I stayed up there and it's beautiful. By the way, this is all mountains through here. And then you're coming over here. Now, I've not been on this part. This is the Kyle of Lachfish. I can't even do that. I'm just mutilating. So these are in the islands. And again, you're going to be doing all these trains. And then this here will be a 3-day, which you're going to go out and do some excursions and some little boating and stuff. And then come back into Glasgow and then back into. Is that not amazing? Double occupancy is only $24.95. This is 2022. This is a phenomenal trip. So I want to see you guys. I know I've got, I know Sarah, I don't know if Sarah's on or not, but I know that she is wanting to get on this along with 3 other people, I think it is, or it's like 2 separate bookings. I'm just waiting for the group. So you guys just let me know. And as soon as I get the group number in, I'll get you guys all situated. We want to highlight the Alps. This is down here in 2022 again. I'm telling you, 2022 is filling up here. So this is a Christmas market. It is Explore Paris through the Rhine. And this one, I just checked it. There are some standard rooms available that are at $33.74. The beautiful part of this air is only at $3.99. There is some availability still on that. D category, which is veranda balconies, are at $41.74. Now, this one is not just a river. If you look at this, you think, oh, well, that's just a short river cruise. It's really not. It actually is, you're going to land in Zurich, which is at the base of the Swiss Alps. So Vedas will testify. He was there. They did a post there one time, and he said his hotel just literally overlooked the Alps. Now, this is in December, and the way Europe does the Christmas market after Thanksgiving is when all the Christmas stuff is out. So if you can imagine the Christmas lights and everything that's going on with all the snow in the mountains, it's just going to be beautiful. You'll be doing a land over to Basel. Then you're going to go up the Rhine and down the Moselle. And then from there, you're going to take trains over and end up in Paris before you come back home. So there's still some space on that. So you guys keep that one in mind. And then this last one, I started booking this one last week again. And I'm going to get on this one. This one is, and it's in 2023. Okay. It's 2023. But because it's Viking Ocean, and I know Viking Ocean, I know my air is going to be included. I know they're going to be with me all the time. I know that every excursion is going to be included. And this is a phenomenal between both New Zealand, all of New Zealand, and even going into Tasmania, Melbourne, and into Sydney, getting a little bit of Australia in there. This one is now, the air has now changed. The air has gone up. Thank you, all of the airlines out there. But again, it's 2023. So, and if you've guys got multiple, sailings with Viking, I'm able to get those final payments dates pushed out. Because, you know, with the Viking, that's kind of like the worst thing with them is that they want their payments like a year and a half to 2 years out. So did I tell you that my son was a fisherman? He is sending me, this is no lie. He's fishing. He's sending me fish. I don't know if you can see this. This is so funny. Can you see this? That's what he caught today. Yeah, that's just the one he caught today. See? Now, I said one, but when I talked to him earlier, because he calls me every day, I talked to him earlier today. He'd already done his fishing for the day. I said, oh, how many did you catch? This was, by the way, we talked at 9:30 this morning. He caught 7, and that was one of them. Yeah, he's a fisherman. So and then him and his daddy are going back and forth on those things. So he loves to fish. That's what he's doing on his honeymoon. Anyway, so I think that is all. I just wanted to highlight those few things. If you know of anybody that's looking for those, there's great US for this year. I think 2022 things are definitely going to be great. So getting into the Northern Lights in London, Scotland, and that whole area is amazing. And then, of course, I can dream and dream and dream till 2023 to do the Viking Australia, New Zealand. So those are just a couple of things. I'm going to run over here and see if I got any Yeah, hey, I'm about on time. New comments, it tells me. Whoa, why is my keyboard not working? Okay, Louise says New Zealand. Yes, 2023. So that's pretty cool that it's a little bit further out. Let me get a little bit more on my feet. Christmas market, absolutely. I've done Christmas market twice. And Edinburgh, when we did, probably need a battery. Edinburgh, when we were there, when Judy and I forget who, a bunch of us was doing a land tour. Edinburgh still has the castle there. I mean, it's one of those old towns that stayed old. You know, I mean, the new is over there, but they've protected the old. And it's just like you step right back in time. It's just beautiful. I think that's it. I think everybody else was pretty much. So that's really all she wrote. Just to keep in mind, tomorrow I'll be on Daytime Tri-City, so be sure and watch. Be sure and like and share this post. If you are booked on Margaritaville, do me a favor. I'll see you on the 28th at East Coast Wings. If you're interested in doing Margaritaville, Charisma. By the way, when we're down there, I'll also let you guys know a little snippet. When I'm down in Cancun, we're going to be doing remote television. So I'm meeting with Toby tomorrow, and we're going to be not only doing Margaritaville, but we're going to go to El Dorado Seaside and Nickelodeon. I think it's one other. So can't go to Mexico, but at least you could maybe stay tuned and see some good stuff. So with all that, thank you guys. Be safe, be sane, be satisfied. Satisfied. Talk to you soon. Oh, it's not going to click. Boom. Boom.